Alright, welcome to my third installment of my Beginner's Guide series. This is just going to be some tips that I didn't have the time to mention in my second. I would have liked to combine all the tips into one video, but there just wasn't the time. Alright, let's get into it. Today I'm going to be reading Anatomy, and I've already read Daggers and Sprinting. The reason why is because I'm going to be a quick hit fighter. A lot of new players are going to want to go for the highest armor because they don't really leave themselves exposed. Like, I'm pretty much exposed right now. I have the lowest armor weight I could possibly have, and I'm not going to read armor training to increase my armor weight. I do have a set to where I would be 5 of 5 armor weight, but I'm not going to put that on because I'm going to go to the sewers. Alright, 2 gold. Now, Anatomy is probably one of the first books that you want to read because it helps increase your bandage amount, the healthy gain from bandaging, which is extremely important if you're not a magic user. If you're a magic user, you can heal yourself, and there are some builds that call for Anatomy, but that are also magic users. But with my magic user, I actually dropped Anatomy because I have greater heal that hits for like 50, so, and I needed the points to put into other places. But yeah, Anatomy is definitely one of the first books you want to read. Some things that I did not mention in my second video, my last video, I'm going to start touching upon. Here you'll notice that I have 3,100 silver, which is actually 31 gold. And the reason that you want to do that, you want to change your gold into silver, is because there are pickpockets around Tintrum who will steal your gold. It's based on a weight system, so the higher the weight, the less they can take. In gold, the equivalent in gold is probably 3 or 5, so they could take that a lot easier than they could the silver. These are the skeleton heads that I mentioned in the last video. You go to the skeleton head vendor, and these books right here are from the skeleton head vendor. I just had some extra, so I bought it. The vendor does not sell daggers, so I didn't need an upgrade. I'm not going to probably use these books because I've already outpaced what they could actually give me if I read them. Most books only go up to level 70, and my balance and combat maneuvering are above that. And another thing I didn't mention is I wanted to talk about the nourishment. You'll notice the little gray bar, and the bar above, you can turn this on or off. I don't think it's on by default. Toggle reserves. Okay, you right click on your portrait and you can toggle reserves, and you can notice that I have 0 stamina reserve right now, which means that if I were to run around fighting and stuff, this gray bar would increase a lot more quickly than if I had stamina reserves. The way you get rid of that is I actually brought some stamina food with me. I'm not going to get into cooking things like stamina food and health nourishment food, because a lot of the materials that you need, you have to venture pretty far and have a high cooking skill to actually get those. As a fighter, you don't want to cook a lot of the stuff. You need to invest 300 to 400 points, even more, to be a good cook, and you don't want to do that as a fighter. You can look at the broker house. I'm sure there's pretty good food on there. If you do want to cook, it is a secondary skill, so you can level it to 100 so you can cook some basic stuff. And the way you drop the poisoning level, like most meats have a high poisoning level, and you just can't eat them raw because you'll get sick. And the way you drop the poison threshold is by putting salt in the food. I don't know of any other places but one place to get salt, and that's at my guild's keeps. at my guild's keep, so I can't really mention where that is, but you can check the broker house. There's probably salt on the broker house, and it's a pretty good bet that there's some salt deposits around coastal areas. Yeah, I won't be eating my stamina food, even though I need stamina reserves because my hunger is not high enough. Once I get up around 1,000, I'll start eating the stamina food so I can get my reserves. And you want to sleep first. Get the gray bar all the way gone if you do have health or stamina foods. You want to get the gray bar all the way gone, sleep. Let's say you have a hunger over 1080. You want to eat something like grapes to get your hunger down below 1080. Don't eat all of it. Don't get your hunger all the way down. You just want to drop it below 1080. Sleep, get rid of your gray bar, and then eat whatever health or stamina nourishment food that you have, and that will increase your reserves. Okay, I think that's about it for that. Yeah, a quick combat tip is like I'm going to be a quick strike fighter, which means that when someone engages me, like this person's in heavy armor, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run forward. Seem a little bit slower for some reason. Okay. I'm going to use my mouse to get behind them. I'm not going to use my strafe because that slows you down in combat. It's very slow. So what you want to do is you want to sprint and use your mouse to get behind them. I did go down. I'm going to go to show you the sewers to show how easy it is to actually kill the scoundrels. With basic stuff on. Now, I do have very basic armor on, and I am using the starter sword, and my sword skill is at 0. I am a dagger character. My dagger is around 65, but I'm not bringing my only good dagger down there because I don't want to get jumped and lose it. There's nothing here that I'm worried about losing. Right here is the mount equipment vendor, where you buy stuff for your mount, saddle, horseshoes, bags, and blinders. The blinders, all that stuff helps with how you ride your horse. So if you mouse over the blinders, it'll tell you exactly what it does. It helps you stop more quickly without the mount throwing you off. So if you were to, and the way you stop, if you're in full gallop, you hit R, you'll stop immediately if you have blinders on. Okay. See if I can not fall off of this like I did the last 2 times. Now, you do want to bring... This guy doesn't look very friendly. Looks like he's a higher level player down here to gank. And he does have the Wicked title on him, so he has killed a lot of blues. So I want to make my presence known and see if he's even faster than me, and I have pretty good run and dexterity skills, so he's a high level player who might be ganking. If you do see a title that's the Wicked or something to that effect, that means that they've killed a lot of blue players. I think it takes like 250 to get that title. Okay, while these guys fight, looks like they're gonna fight, so I'm gonna try and show you how easy it is to take out these scoundrels. And one good tip is whenever you're running around town, run around in combat mode. You'll level all kinds of things. You see breathing technique down there in the chat, athletics, foot speed. It'll level combat maneuvering. Just a whole bunch of stuff. Okay, good. Now these scoundrels will not aggro until you hit them. Venture. Oh, come on, let me kill him. deeper. You don't want to go too deep because you'll start running into humanoid rats that are pretty tough. And they also have little rodent rats with them also. I want to talk about making gold a little bit. Once you've picked your share of flowers and get sick of that, one great way to start making gold is by crafting armor. And this is stuff that if you need to make gold, if you're a new player, the best way to make gold, honestly, is to join a guild. You'll get to their keep and they'll show you farm spots to make gold. Now, if you're going to go solo or you don't want to join a guild right away, the next best thing after picking the flowers is to start armor crafting. And the reason why is because a lot of people will buy your bone armor. Once you start, you can skin any corpses, skeletons, animals, anything to get bone tissue. And you can start leveling your armor crafting. Read some books into soft armor crafting, because your armor crafting will be, you could start reading armor crafting, but a great way, another little tip is just grab cotton from the vendor, from a utility vendor, I believe, and just craft heavy robes. That will increase your intelligence really quickly, and it will increase your armor crafting. Then once you get high enough, past 30, you can grab the book for soft armor crafting, which I believe is on the regular librarian, and then these are on the Animus librarian that I mentioned in the last video at the Mage Tower. And then once you get this right here, you can start crafting bone armor. You can start crafting bone armor from the bones that you get from skinning corpses. And then once you start getting that leveled up, you will want to go to iron bone, and you can start crafting iron bone armor. It's a great a way to get iron bone is by razorbacks near the grapes outside south of Tindrum, where I showed you in the last video. There are razorbacks to the south and west. Yes, the south and west of those grapes that I showed you. They're almost directly south out of Tindrum. And if you really want to make some decent gold, you can start reading books on bone tissue and iron bone. Bone tissue, I believe, is on the regular librarian, but the iron bone tissue is on the, the iron bone lore is on the Animus at the Mage Tower. And you can check that stuff out for yourself. Butchering is a great way. I don't know where the butchering table is in Tindrum. You can ask around town. If there is even one, there should be one. I don't see why there wouldn't be. Now when you fight, you don't want to have your torch out because it's going to mess up your rhythm and you'll actually hit with your torch. Right here is kind of the last spot you want to go to, the furthest you want to go to, because up there are the rats begin, and they're a little tougher than these scoundrels. And keep in mind, this is the starter sword, and I have 0 sword skill. You can only get 1 hit in, and then wait just a little bit, don't block immediately, and you'll get the parry. You can't parry bows, but you can block quite a bit of it. That was a handle hit. That means that I was too close to him. That was a bad parry. It wasn't a parry at all, but you get the idea. These guys, see, I blocked too early there. And now my rhythm is completely off. Alright. Nah, pretty freaking easy. They drop some decent stuff, sometimes some decent armor. So you can grab the carcass. Skin the carcass, get some bones out of them to start crafting bone armor. you'll notice the you see that there might be ways to get more materials, but you don't know how. That just means you don't have the lore. And big thing that you want is the leather and the bone tissue. And you'll start crafting bone armor and can sell them 5 gold a set on the auction on the broker house. So it's not a bad way to start making gold. Next video I'll show you Meduli, and I did mention on my last video that there was a zoologist in Tindermit the Animus, and there is not. I got into a debate with my guildie before I made that video, and I said there is not a zoologist there, and he assured me there was 100%, but there's not one, and I will show probably in my next video where the zoologist is out in the wild. And the zoologist is very important for all the lore skills. Zoology studies, okay. All of these lores right here, and they're important because if you want to make gold off of butchering, you need all of these lores. Like on my butcher, I have mammalia with some stuff for razorbacks, and they'll have. The most important thing is a lot of this. If you want to start skinning razorbacks, you're going to want dental lore with malarium and cesium, and those are on the Animus at the Mage Tower. But I will show where the zoologist is, and the zoologist is going to be very important for me because what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down the mammalia tree and get to primate. And these right here are the actual races of players. These are our races that we choose from, so it'll increase the damage and defense against them, and that's what I want with this character. But that's about all I have. Let's check this out. Now, when you look at this, look at the heat map there. Those numbers, those arrows only show you a rough idea. It's said that if you're buying something on the broker house, the players, the experienced players, even they can't tell exactly what the offense of a weapon is going to be or the defense of an item. I personally have bought something that had those arrows they were condensed arrows like that, and the damage was piercing was higher than the slashing and the blunt, just in the icon. But when I got it, it turned out the slashing was higher than the piercing, and that's not what I wanted. So what the experienced players can do is they can look at the icon and actually get an idea of what it is capable of because of the material that it's made out of, because they're experienced enough to know that the handle is probably made of a certain material because it has a certain icon, and that to that effect. I am going to not level my armor. The armor weight, you can see is a maximum of 5 right now. This number right here, this 37, is the maximum armor that you can carry before you just completely stop moving. So once I approach 37, I will be extremely slow if I'm approaching that number. And you get encumbered once you get over your maximum armor weight. So if you want to wear heavy armor, 2 things you can do is read an armor training book, and that will start increasing your maximum armor weight. And you can also put on armor that is heavier than what you have. So if I wanted to level armor training, I would put on a 10 weight armor set and just move around, and that will increase your armor weight. Same idea with the carry weight. If I started to approach 99, the closer I got to 99, the slower I would move and the more stamina drain I would experience. You can carry bags. Your maximum is 100, but there's only 36 slots here. So 2, 3, 18. So there's only 36 slots here. 2, 4, 6. Anyway, but you can get bags. You can ask around town where the bag vendor is. I don't know where the bag vendor is, but there should be a bag vendor somewhere. You can buy bags and put stuff in those bags. It's not a bad way to carry around gold and valuables too, because they don't think that pickpocketers can rummage through bags that are in your inventory. Now, and that's a way to do the minimum of 36. It's a way to increase that number. Once you're encumbered, you'll notice a hand weight here. Down here in the lower left, it'll be a trapezoid with a little handle on it and let you know you're encumbered. It's not a big deal if you're just a little encumbered. It'll just be a small stamina drain, small movement penalty, not a big deal. Fattening foods can get you bonuses. If you start eating fat foods, your health reserves will be max. That's how you get fat. If you have max health reserves and then start eating health nourishment foods, then your health reserves will go up and you'll actually start getting heavier. And people do that to have higher strength. And once you go obese, you'll get a bonus to intelligence also. But I am going lean. So once I go lean, I'll starve myself a little bit. I'll get the health reserves down and I'll start losing weight and I'll go lean, and I'm going to get a 5-point bonus to dexterity. So I'll have 125 even though my max is 120, and my strength will go down by 5, but that's what I'm going to do for this character. Any other thing that I failed to mention, I will mention on the next video, but please leave any questions, comments, concerns, questions about builds, macros. I can help with macros. I am using a macroing keyboard that I bought for 50 bucks. It's not a... Someone's around here. But I am using a macroing keyboard that I bought for 50 bucks, and it records its own macros in game. And I've heard of people having trouble with recording macros in game. All you do is exit out of both of Mortal Online and the macroing the keyboard software. Start the keyboard software as administrator, and then you should be able to do the in-game macros. And just an example of a basic macro that I did. It's to level my combat maneuvering. And this is the macro. I just go sprint forward, jump a little bit. That's just to get a little bit of jump bonus, and then I back up just so I can keep a relative position and not wander. And that's the simple macro that I made to level the skills. That's about all I have. I do hope you enjoyed. If you need help with macros, I am pretty familiar with auto hotkey. I have an auto hotkey program. It's a butcher program, to where with auto hotkey you can use something called window spy, to where it gives the coordinates of the current window that you're in. And what you can do is put those coordinates down to where the mouse will actually click it, drag it to the butcher window, drop it, and extract it. You can put all the coordinates in for this and it'll do it automatically, because it is very time consuming if you have a complete inventory with carcasses that you're trying to butcher. So it's a good way to go AFK and do that. But I do thank you for joining me. I hope to see you in game. Please leave any comments, questions, concerns, and I will definitely answer them.